Hello and welcome. So in today's video we will be talking about Nigeria and Nigerians and what I as a South African think about Nigerians. I have never been to Nigeria, so whatever that I'll be saying here will be based on a little bit of knowledge that I have about Nigeria and Nigerians from childhood law up until now. So what I'll be talking about is what picture Nollywood actually sent to the world or to Africa about Nigerians, and what I have noticed about Nigerians or experienced about them in person as my teachers or friends or just people I live with around the neighborhood. So this video is not meant to disrespect anyone. It's just me just sharing out what I think about them. And so okay, I've blabbed a lot. So then let's start with a bit of what I think is facts before I move into all this nonsense that I'm about to say right now. Nigeria is a beautiful country in West Africa and has a population of about 200 million. Well, that's a lot. That's like about double of what South Africa, I mean, your Lord, 4 times of South Africa's population. And it is very rich in culture and diverse, right? Very diverse. Very easy to notice that, especially when you've been watching Nollywood for a very long time. And another thing to notice about Nigeria is that it has about over 500 spoken languages, which is a lot. And has about 3 or 4 main groups, which is the Igbos, the Yoruba, Hausa, and Fulani, which could be interchanged somehow. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. So okay, so the Igbo people, right, check them out here. They actually are the ones that we actually see a lot on Nollywood movies, like on African Magic that we actually watched. Basically, the first thing that came to my mind when I said Igbo was like Igbo kwenu. You know, when literally you're watching a lot of Nigerian movies, like you end up saying it with them when they're actually chanting their greetings, and the signature colonnade when they visit the households and whatnot. So basically that's just that. Well, that's not enough. I can actually talk the whole day if I have to talk about them. An amazing, beautiful, vibrant group. Now we have the Yorubas. Like, what I actually got from them is they are amazing weddings. They break the bank to make their weddings. I think they probably go broke after they are done with their wedding ceremony. Their weddings are just out of this world. And we have the Hausa Fulanis, which I think they're mainly Muslims or something, if I'm not mistaken, because that's a picture that I got. And they live in the north. And yeah, like I get the forgive me, but I get the desert vibes from them, because I can like see them riding horses and whatnot. Like, they give me that vibe. And you know the famous thing, Mr. President and the cattle. Yeah, so that's another thing if you actually follow a bit of Nigerian politics and whatnot. So okay, now let me start about the idea that Nollywood actually brought to my mind growing up as a South African, and what perceptions it actually made about Nigeria and Nigerians. So this will be the good and the bad. Not really that bad, because I mean it's probably them and their culture, or traditions, I could say. So okay, now they have this superiority thing, like the superiority complex. So what do I mean by this is that Nollywood has just instilled this thing in my head that rich Nigerians are arrogant, right? That they feel like they can just do anything just because they have money. Because if you've watched a lot of Nigerian movies, like, you'd see the disrespect the rich would do. And I think this could be slightly true, because like I've been following a little bit of the Nigerian politics, and then there's this man, I'll put his name up, I forgot, and I remember there was a video of him slapping someone or something like that at like a shopping complex or something like that, and he ended up calling the police for him or something. Actually, this happened, and like for real, but nothing happened to him. He just came out, and then it was reported on the a media outlet or something like that, well, that the video was doctored or something like that. Well, that's another thing I've noticed about Nigerians, is that even if they're caught on camera, well, this is not everyone, but then this is just for the politicians, so that even if they're caught on camera, like, they'll literally just deny all the allegations and be like, that's not me, the video was doctored. They like that name. So okay, now we move on to the next one. Guys, they know how to hype. They can hype you up, especially like the Igbos, because they are the ones that I've noticed a lot. When a girl just dressed up or something like that, and then you'd hear them say, Neamaka, something like that, and then they'll be saying all these cute, beautiful things, and you're like, I wish they could be saying this to me. But then, well, it's just them. And you know how they would hype their wives, like, or the mothers would hype their children or something like that, and then like you'd hear them saying name. The moment they say that, yo guys, especially when you start understanding a bit of what they are saying, it just goes straight to the heart. They literally hype. I think this is actually beneficial for what's this, like parties and whatnot. They are the way to go. So moving on to my next point about what I got about Nigerians from Nollywood. Like, okay, so is that they worship royalties a lot. So okay, yes, we do have royalties in South Africa, but then it's not really followed that much. But then watching a lot of Nigerian movies just made me think that there's probably a lot in Nigeria, and that they probably have a very high stand in the society. Well, which could be possibly true, but then I just feel like Nollywood might have just exaggerated. Might have just exaggerated them. So okay, and another thing is what is it? Okay, is that there's a lot of witchcraft in Nigeria, guys. It's like almost every old Nollywood movie that I have watched, there's witchcraft, which literally gave Nigeria a bad name. And like all these movies about witchcraft and occults, that's so scary, to a point whereby if someone would watch like a Nigerian movie, they would end up saying like, oh, so you're watching these things because you want to learn how to do witchcraft. That's just how bad it is, like too much witchcraft. And it's so funny how Nigerians would actually point each other out and be like, okay, no, we don't like doing witchcraft and whatnot. It's the Yorubas that like doing that. They like going to Babalawo and whatnot. And that's just funny things about like watching a lot of these movies. Honestly speaking, I think that a lot of these movies actually tell you about what actually is happening on ground. It gives you an idea of what to expect when you get there, because there's no way you can talk about something else that doesn't really exist. I'm not saying that those things exist, I have no idea about that, but then I'm just saying that they probably just exaggerate everything, but then they do happen. They are there somehow. Okay, now is that another thing is that Nigerians wear their traditional clothes all the time. So that's basically another thing that I got from Nollywood, which made me think that like Nigeria is actually very cultural, very rural, and only to find out that it actually isn't really like that. Because I remember when I had my first Facebook friends who are from Nigeria, and I would literally be asking them all these weird questions because, well, that's what I see on Nollywood, and that's the idea that I got about them, and only found out, well, no, they only do that for the movies. They actually do dress up in their traditional attires for special occasions. Well, yeah, so they have a modern way of wearing their traditional attires, which is not the way we see it exactly on Nollywood movies. But another thing that I really liked about Nigerian attires, like traditional attires, I think this is from the Yorubas, but I think like everyone wears it in a way. I forgot what it's called, but then it's just this big gown that they would wear, which kind of represents wealth in a way, because all the time when someone would show up wearing that, and then you'd hear them like addressing him as chief, and yeah, something like that, or Baolo or something like that. Correct me if ever I pronounce or say things incorrectly, because, well, I don't know that well. And another thing that I got is that the rich marries the poor, of which in my head I was like, yo, I wish that was the case here and whatnot. Honestly, what's happening here in South Africa is happening in Nigeria. Obviously it won't be the same thing, but then it's similar somehow. So obviously the rich marries the rich and the poor marries the poor, and yeah, that's just the sad reality. And rich people marrying poor people, that's Nollywood, and it stays there, I think. Yeah, I think when you'd find someone marrying a poor person or something like that, they probably come from just a middle class. They want to marry someone from the village or something like that. I think people who do that just want submissive wives and nothing more. I'm joking, guys. Hey, for those who got married to such people, you gonna bite me. But yeah, I think they just want submissive wives, because usually if you don't have much to contribute, you're probably submissive. Yeah. Okay, so another thing that actually amazed me growing up watching Nigerian movies, and I always wished that our people could do that as well, is that they help each other financially. You know, when you watch these movies and you hear them saying that, she dashed me money. No, let me say that again. And then you hear people saying that, she dashed me money. And in your head, you're like, yes. These people are busy calling millions, and they're giving out millions just like that. You know, you'd watch them and be like, okay, here's 2 million naira. Go and start a small business. Hey, guys. Hey. Like, my blood is boiling. Whenever I would hear that, my blood would boil. Because in my head, I'm like, yes, sis. if I could get 2 million rand, like someone would just give me that and be like, go and start a business. And you'd hear them saying that, okay, going to the village or something like that, and you'd hear them saying that they're going to take their niece or any of their relatives to school, and they'll be sponsoring them. And I'm like, yo guys, Nigeria and Nigerians, this is amazing. I don't know if that really happens in real life or it's just in Nollywood, but then guys, that's amazing. If it's not happening in real life, let it happen, because we are jealous. And okay, and then okay, so now I'll be saying what I observed from the few Nigerians that I've seen in real life now. Okay, so what I've noticed is that the Nigerians that I've seen here in South Africa are always grouped together. They just find a way to discover each other and stick together in their own small circle. Like they form their own mini communities. So somehow that can be good in a way that you look out for each other, but it can also be bad because you're basically not integrating with the community around you. It's like it just stands out as in you're being unwilling to learn other people's cultures, and like you just want to remain in your own little bubble and not want to understand their way of doing things or something like that. So somehow it can be good in terms of them protecting each other, but it can also be bad because it sends out a wrong message. Like, okay, like how can you just come into my house and then stay in your own little corner and not want to engage? Another thing is that they dress to kill. Hey guys, they dress really well. Well, that's actually very true. They dress really well. Like you'd find them in their like semi-traditional, western clothing, and they look really good all the time. And then well, that's just what I have to say. And then if there's anything that I left out, I will make another video and say more things. That's if you guys want to know what more I think about them, because there's actually a lot. So thank you so much for viewing this video. If you have any suggestion or any questions, just link them down in the comment section. And yeah, okay, thank you. So that's it from me. Bye.